My name's Cleo Sylvestre and I'm playing Rosa Parks, Josephine Baker and Wangari Maathai.
So we have Christine Keeler, we have Germaine Greer, Harry Curie and Ella MacArthur.
My name's Renee Montemillor and I will be playing Lady Astor, Aung San Suu Kyi, Yoko Ono and Audrey Hepburn.
Okay, my name is Georgia and the characters I will be playing are Edith Cavell, Mary Stopes, Emmeline Pankhurst, not in that order, I've messed up, Dorothea Lang and Vivienne Westwood.
My name is Debbie Yearsley and I am playing Miss Margaret Roberts, who we know better today as Baroness Thatcher. I'm playing Vera Lynn and also Marilyn Monroe.
What she achieved so much. She started the Green Belt movement. She studied in America with Obama's father. Well, not with him, but on the same program that he went over to from Kenya. She was always really a bit of a thorn in people's side, particularly because it's so male-dominated, the whole political scene over there. And then eventually the women went to her and said that, you know, the rain wasn't happening, the forests were drying up, there was no fuel, there was no wood to make shelter. So she started this Green Belt movement, getting women to grow seedlings and plant trees. And I think to date she's planted they've planted over 80 million trees. She was awarded the Nobel Prize in 2004, Peace Prize, and she's the first African woman to receive it. So obviously she's made a really big mark on, you know, the world and on Kenyan society.
Well, Christine Keeler is an interesting one, and I'm sure that piece got the audience talking last time because, you know, she's infamous and there are lots of mixed opinions on her, and it's a nice speech that we've got because she's very playful within it. She's trying to argue her point and her innocence, but it's quite apparent that she isn't completely innocent. So, but it is her talking about her affair with John Profumo and everything else that was going on around that time. So we're talking about, or we were in the first production talking about great women, and I guess the definition of great can be perceived in many different ways. So
Audrey Hepburn, I think she teaches us a lot about grace. And I think that's a little bit lacking in the world nowadays. Well, first of all, she's a beautiful woman with a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul, and I think that really comes through in her work as an actress, but also as a person, off stage, off camera. And also, I think it's less known that she had a passion for humanitarian causes, which is very famous for being a fantastic 1950s actress of the old Hollywood. But she was also very interested in UNICEF and humanitarian causes. She was a big philanthropist with a big heart. And I was interested in portraying her, because I've seen other people portray her, and personally I feel that people are so focused on her look, which is beautiful and graceful, but I'm more interested in her heart.
Dorothea Lang is a really interesting one. She is a complete character in that she's almost the first female responsible for how we know photojournalism as it is today. I think her shocking images of the Depression in the States during kind of the 1930s, not necessarily horrific in their shock value, but purely they're incredibly emotive photos that she's really gotten to the heart. And she says even herself, some of her most famed pictures have come from people who said, don't go there. And they're incredible, kind of on the streets and in just these really bizarre or just normal even areas of the street that no one really thinks to take pictures, and where the Depression actually hit worse during that era. And she didn't come from money, but she wasn't by any stretch of the imagination poor. And she really kind of just gave a finger up to everyone who was saying, you know, you can't go there, you can't do this, you know. I mean, photography wasn't what it was when she was around anyway, so let alone the fact that photojournalism wasn't half as shocking and real as we know it. It just wasn't a woman's world.
I think, everyone's going to hate me, Margaret Roberts is my favourite. There is just something there that fits with my character. There's just something I embody, I think, with Margaret, and I'm shocked. I'm as shocked as anyone but she is the one that has just kind of slid into place easier for me than the others. And she's fighting for her seat, or for a seat in Dartford, and it's a speech about taking personal responsibility for our lives and our country, and I mean, it's as relevant, the speech is as relevant today as it was then. I think it was a 1950s speech, maybe even before that. And yeah, it makes sense. We find ourselves as a country, I think, in a similar crisis, and I think, I hate to say this, everybody's going to be throwing eggs at me, but I think the advice is sound advice there. I think the fact that she's actually in the piece gave a mixed reaction. Some people struggled to see her as a great woman. The performance got a really positive reaction, which is lovely. The UK Theatre Network said that Debbie Yearsley was outstanding and rather uncanny as the young Margaret Thatcher, which I'm not quite sure if that's a compliment or not, but it's good.